that message? You don't have to hear it, but what's the message that was sent to them when they got out of jail? What was the message sent to them?
Okay, let's talk about that for issue. So let's get into some of the issues. So let me ask you a question. Who has the most pardons in presidential history?
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm asking you, what was the message that
No,
was
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Who
I don't know. So
I heard it the other day, but I forgot who it was.
Joe Biden has 8,000 pardons compared to Trump's 1,700. 1,800.
But is the number of pardons matter as the message being when you get
into the people that he pardoned, it gets frightening. And you can Google that for yourself.
Okay,
frightening.
Okay, Daryl, I understand that, but I'm not going to play whataboutism right now. What I'm going to play is January 6th. What was the message? What was the message that these people got?
That they got a pardon, they got clemency, just like somebody who got, just like somebody wait a minute. Just like, well, you asked me a question. Let me finish.
Let me see, Chris. Come on now.
So I think the message that the people got is that you had a guy that was in their corner, that promoted, in my opinion, them what I consider to be a riotous act. And he saw fit that because of their faithfulness and loyalty to him, that he gave them a pardon. So that's my interpretation, that it was personal. It was a personal act of clemency, no differently than you may argue with it. I could agree why Joe Biden, I never knew why Joe Biden didn't say in the first place he wasn't going to pardon his son. I would. So my point is, I think anybody would. The fact is that people that they propped up. See, this becomes an issue, a personal thing, because that's a democratic posture. And see, it should never be a posture. Any man that has a son or a daughter is going to be subjective, and they have the power. They're not going to turn around and let their person go to jail and do no time. It's personal for them. So I think that he did a personal. Let me close. Let me land this, and I'll be done. So it was a personal act that people felt like a family member, like, Daddy did something for us. We got off scot. We paid the price. Some of us are getting out of jail. We don't have to pay the full boat and time because Daddy did something personal for us. That's my interpretation of it.
Okay, the leader of, what's the guy name with the patch on his eye? He spoke on it. He said he gave us what we wanted, and now we're going to knock on doors and make sure everyone votes Republican and stand in line. We're going to make sure that people fall in line behind Trump because, they feel like, again, they're above the law now because he helped them knowing that they were guilty of their crimes.
I hope you have the same argument on the other side.
No, I'm sorry. Hey, Daryl, let's be real now. Let's be real. This was the message that was sent. I can do whatever the heck I want now because this man just got me off. And there's two guys. One just got killed, who was released from January 6th. He was just killed. The other one went to prison. The other one went to prison because of guns. You understand what I'm saying? So, in other words, what I was getting at, some of these people think, okay, hell, I'm above the law. As long as he in this chair, he gonna look out for me. You understand?
I think it's kind of hard to have the argument on both sides because we had all of these people, whatever you want to call it, they attacked the Capitol, attacked police officers, and did all of that. And for him to say it was too cumbersome to go through all of those cases to see who did what or whatever the case may be, just let them all out. That right there sends a crazy message to me. I mean,
but that's not according to CNN. CNN said that.
That's what Trump said.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that CNN said that most of the attorney on CNN said on Democratic liberal news said that the majority of the people that were sentenced and had consented were non considered non-violent. It was more on the side of riot. They were just kind of following. There were people that were there that did physical things, but they said it was like when you take the whole 1,500 in allotment, he said it was a handful, and that's on the Democratic news. Now, I don't report that on
even with that, then as a responsible president, he should have taken the time to go through and see who did what. And if those were non-violent, okay, let them out. But the ones who were actually violent, they should still be in.
Okay, but do you produce the same argument on the side with the Democrat when Biden was releasing the pedophiles and the people that did what they did? I mean, do you have that same argument, or you just don't deal with that? We just dealing with Trump.
I don't like pedophiles, so I would keep them all locked up.
Well, but what I'm saying, is that if you go do the research and not have your research independent of a news foundation, what you're going to dig up is going to be totally different. It's not going to be the same. And so that's why I said my argument is not, listen, I really don't care about Trump. I don't know him as a person like that. Going back to the Central Park Five, I had a lot of issues with certain things. But what my attack, me being an attack dog, is not being attack dog for him, but for the liberal mindset that has purity tests, that has these purity tests that everybody needs to pass in order to be, like, for example, if we were living, I'm a pastor, if we were living in the time of David, then David could not be the king. David killed Bathsheba's, he killed a man. He killed the man. He so when we talking about these purity tests, Moses killed the man. And I'm not justifying anything that anybody does. What I'm saying is the Democrats has this way of presenting a light, just like they did with the DEI. Most people, I talk to people all the time that I said, wait a minute, because I'm a consultant. If you go into any AI program online and you type in just simply this, how much consulting revenue has been generated from DEI? I think it's, as of 2023, it's $97 billion. I know the aspects of consulting and how consulting firms generate revenue. That's all that was. That's powers to be that's got money that put corporations in bondage to do certain things that has nothing to do with the law. Nothing to do with the law. Any one of us, but that's the argument. The last time we have arguments, everybody's arguing about, people on equality in the workplace, but you already got laws in place. They've been in place. But they're not really dealing with the real DEI issues, which is if you're from New Jersey, like I'm from New Jersey, in South Carolina, when you go to the YMCA, a transgender man cannot go into the woman's bathroom. Not in New Jersey, in New York, and California, y'all should know this. They can. So you could be at the gym. Your wife could be at the gym, and a dude who's a transgender can walk in there.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. That's in New Jersey. That's in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. No, you think I'm not making this up? You asked.
Oh no, I believe.
Oh yeah, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm not. When it comes to that DEI thing, the more I think about it, it's like, what is the purpose of it? Because again, you're right. We have laws. We have equal opportunity and things of that nature. So when you're looking at DEI, it's like, I was watching somebody's podcast, and it's like, DEI and all this stuff, all these other things that came after the laws were made. It's like they hijacked the civil rights movement.
Exactly.
Because it's like, another thing he was saying is like, we had, all the civil rights laws, then it turned into women's rights, and it turned into all these other things. And it's like what was meant for African Americans because we were the minorities is now spread and morphed into all these things. And now it's like, how do you really define a minority group when you're throwing everybody in as a minority group?
Well, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So,
What I'm saying, and my thing about DEI is, okay, it addresses race, okay, but what if a white guy gets promoted on his job not because he's white, but because he's the boss's brother or cousin or or his dad plays golf with his
Nepotism type
yeah,
stuff.
nepotism. And because nepotism and racism and sexism can all look the same by result.
Yeah, but DEI doesn't address it as a law. Only the law deals with that. DEI doesn't, because DEI is not a law. You got to keep in mind.
Yeah,
it's not a law. What it is it's the way to socially reform the workplace, to make acceptable things like that what they have. One of the big things in DEI is gender neutral bathrooms. It's teaching people about bias, being biased against culture. It's it's generating money, man. It's culture.
But another one is
you can't change the heart of people. You can say all that stuff you want to, but you can't change my heart.
Right.
You're right. And another one they wanted to address, and we all know they wanted to address the fact that a lot of blacks don't get promotions as others. That's one of the things that they wanted to address as well. But I want to address, you brought up David, the purity test. You don't bring up David. David, well, yeah, he asked for forgiveness. You brought up Moses. Moses, yes, he asked for forgiveness. Trump may have asked for forgiveness, but I tell you what, he consistently doubled down on the things that he's done. So we don't want to go with the purity test and comparing Moses and David to that.
No. Okay, you missed my point. I got your point. So I'm not gonna steel man your argument because I know what you're saying. But the point that you're missing is this. The point that I'm trying to point out is this. David couldn't pass the purity test, so he couldn't even get the assignment. There are a lot of people out there that what I'm saying that are still good people. Forget Trump. I ain't talking about you just put Trump on the back. When you can't pass the Democrat purity test, they will go look for anything in your life. They'll look for something. They have had good senators. That one senator was making fun of the lady that time. The comedy guy who was a comedian.
The comedian. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, what kind of people? So this is the kind of stuff that started enraging me. Like, that's a good dude. That's a good dude. So they go look for anything that you can't pass their purity test and bring it up.
Well, here's the thing, and I know about that situation, and it was like Democrats eating their own, but they were kind of egged on by the Republicans. See, look at what this guy's done. Look at what he's done. But the hypocrisy in them is not overshadowed because they don't care about that hypocrisy. Well, they don't care because they're going to let anybody do anything. They're not going to eat their own. Democrats will eat their own.
Craig and Soul, let me ask y'all a question, man. Do you guys think? I mean, sometimes you gotta say what it is. One thing I respect about Trump, he walking like he talking.
Yeah.
Versus what the Democrats do. Once he got in office, man, he went, like I said in the intro, he's like Tony Montana. He started spraying, man. Say hello to my little friend. You know what I'm saying? He went in with the work. Democrats, man, they normally take their time, man. Within 4 years, they still ain't get some of the stuff done that they promised that they would do. And sometimes they don't even do what they promise. So I hate to say it, man, but hey, one thing I do respect about Trump, man, he walking like he talking. What you guys think about that?
I will give him